Got it.
Happy Christmas, Morgan, because I'm a Grinch head. After technical
Orva.
difficulties, we are here wonderfully. Just a second ago, I did some little extra things about Christmas horror movies, but I didn't invite Morgan in because that was private. That was me time, including the clip from the new movie, the Mean One, the Grinch horror film. Have you seen the trailer yet?
No, there's a Grinch
You
horror
missed it.
movie?
Yep, came
Oh,
out
I
this
missed it.
week. It's the guy who was the Terrifier, but now he's the Grinch, and he's doing exactly Jim Carrey's Grinch, but he's murdering people.
Amazing. I mean,
Yep,
that's what we want. That's what we need.
it's what we really, really want.
Yeah.
Because also the Killing Tree, where I was like, oh, it's a full feature version of Tree Vengeance. No, it's just one really big Christmas tree that's beating the shit out of people.
It's
Not that good. Saw that one
just
though.
like Jaws with the Christmas tree.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, more like Slumber Party Massacre, but the Christmas tree just comes in and grabs an axe and chases after people.
It picks up an axe.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, and I'm making it sound better than it is. So I'll say that. But we're here to not talk about horror films, which is the usual thing. We're here to do a thing that Morgan usually does on his channel. We're going to talk about commercials, but we're
Yeah.
also in general to do it to talk about my favorite part of Christmas, the bit that you're not supposed to care that much about, but obviously you fucking do. It's toys. That's all I'm here to talk about.
Gotta love the toys.
Yeah. Let's get my hat to stay on my helmet head with this fucking headset. But after showing B Arthur there, and a big shout out to Mike for getting me this Christmas uh, Golden Girls book.
Beautiful.
He was dressed up like Santa, but ragged and droopy. He'd lost all his money on fake reindeer poopy. It's Stan.
That's such a stand thing to do. Of
Yeah, that's actually referencing an actual episode.
course
But
it is.
later in the episode, I will drink some of this new Mountain Dew Fruit Quake. I
Ugh.
hear it's not good, but I'm going to try
Uh,
it, but I'll wait a bit.
I have the spicy one, the flaming hot,
Oh, there you
which
go.
is
You're still living the summer.
yeah,
I'm living the fruit side.
but I haven't tried this yet, so
Oh.
it'll be first time here.
My review was not as terrible as I thought, but not good. So like a droopy middle.
Okay, a droopy middle.
Yeah.
That's what we all want, is a droopy middle.
That's my regular Coke in my Road Warriors cup. So ooh, what a rush.
I got my I got my beautiful mug here.
What's on the mug? Bring it closer.
Huh?
Bring it close. Oh, I see. I see it now. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a snowman.
Yeah. I have a Santa's severed head mug. It's really big. It's like you'd have soup in it or something. I don't know. That's I haven't taken that out of the hidden away cupboard yet. That takes effort to get into. So that
You
wasn't.
have a hidden away cupboard.
Oh, it's like a really high cupboard, and things that I don't use all year round get shoved up in there.
It does a lot of drugs. That's why it's so high.
Yeah. So speaking of getting high, we're gonna go back to our days of childhood when when I was 6, when I was high on drugs all the time, took that dare oath, and then later on lied. But we're just gonna play a general commercial. I believe that's what I did. I totally forget what order I put this stuff in, but we're started off with a commercial that involves Christmas and toys.
All right.
Because what else is there at Christmas time than that moment before when you're like shaking every box you find? When I would drop a box and made a Godzilla sound, so I knew I got an animatronic Godzilla.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
You just said the magic words, now look what you did. And look at the low
Oh,
prices
wow.
on holiday fun at Toys R Us. Storytelling
Like the Rocky
Big Bird from
robot.
Ideal moves his eyes and beak with the words, just $67.99 and $11.97 for other cassette and storybook sets. Wow. And Transformers battling robots from Ideal.
Oh,
Two rough and
sweet.
ready robots battle it out at a tough price to beat, just $14.97.
At a tough price to beat.
Toy Story, let's go!
Ah, Jeffrey.
Okay, that was great. One Rocky robot. So
Yeah.
there you go. That was really good. Oh man, that was so good.
Which was just the Rob robot from Nintendo, but they had a giant version of him. I don't know. I never had a Rob because I always had friends to play with. So you're familiar with
So
what
you
Rob
didn't need a
was.
robot?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah, okay.
I at least always had one friend to play with, or I just, had realized that most Nintendo games were actually just one player, so who cared? But yeah, you could get that robot that held the second controller and it moved as if it was playing the second player for
Really?
you.
Oh, I
And
don't think I've ever seen that
it
before.
was it's called Rob for NES.
Oh, cool. That's so weird.
Yeah, the amount of like stupid things that came out for like Nintendos and Genesis back in the day that like history will never remember.
Like the Power Glove.
But that's bad. So bad. Let's see if I put some other commercials that people remember.
The ultimate threat to the universe is here.
I am Hordak, and this is my evil horde.
Oh, crazy.
They're evil.
Oh, wow,
even
you've got them
scared
all.
me.
You want a
Hordak's my
Skeletor?
friend. The evil
Oh, yeah.
horde has no friends.
The Evil Horde, new from the Masters of the Universe collection. All figures each sold separately.
Let me out of here.
From Mattel.
The Horde, my favorite toys. Then they ended up being on She-Ra, and as being a 6-year-old boy, you became defensive and liking the Horde because they're like, those are She-Ra villains. You're a loser. What are you? Are you a girl? I'm like, no, I don't like the Horde. No.
Oh, I love She-Ra.
But I
I
mean,
think I'd probably watch She-Ra more.
when you're just because you're that like couple years younger than me, so it was like that was on still maybe when you were a little
Yeah,
kid.
maybe. Yeah, that's
But because it would last, it was a couple years later. But as a 6-year-old boy who had been watching He-Man since it started, there was a moment that, I mean, and I did watch She-Ra. I watched it just as much. I had the comics of both. But every time I went to school and someone saw me with a She-Ra comic, everyone was like, "You're a girl. You must be a homosexual." And like 6 years old,
90s
living in the
kids are so
country.
cruel.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking fucking early 80s for me. So I mean, it
Oh,
was
well, okay, 80s kids are so cruel.
yeah, even worse.
Children
Children
are
in
so
general,
cruel.
but
Yeah.
back then it was even worse for that kind of thing. But no, I mean, I loved that show, and the best is the Christmas special, and then the movie special they had before when She-Ra and He-Man met, Secret of the Sword. But no, I had all of these guys. I don't know where my Mantenna is. My Leech one, the rubber band in between his legs rotted away after time, so
Oh, so his legs fell off.
But
Yeah, right.
I've still got him. There was also another member called Modulac, and he was all bits and pieces, and he had two
Oh, yeah.
heads. I found that I have one of his heads. I don't know where the rest of his body is, though. If your figure was bits and pieces, of course you're gonna lose it as a child.
Yeah, 100%.
They're all remade now. I've got a few of the like classic remakes, but those are OGs because I'm fucking old. Speaking of Modulac,
You alone defeated He-Man. Because, Hordak, I am
So cool.
You lock.
the evil horde all by myself.
see how it was made for boys when that commercial was Modulac, like his name's Modulac, the same thing that's on those linking fences. That's why they called him that. So
Oh, okay.
Modulac. But what if we changed the lock to lack? That made him an alien.
Sounds so much cooler.
And we'll say it like this: Modulac.
With 1,000 battling bodies.
Modulac.
Now that you're all together,
Too many
Modulac,
options.
I'm gonna take you apart.
Modulac with 22 changeable parts, new from the Evil Horde and Masters of the Universe. Other figures each sold separately. From Mattel.
Did Modulac exist in the cartoon? I don't remember him.
He did once, and he's the only Horde member that appeared on He-Man's show. He was just not a Horde guy. They just made him that for the
Okay.
toys.
That must have been such a pain in the ass for the animators if he had so many different like permutations.
He was really boring in the cartoon. He was this scientist, and he had a fake robot head that talked to him. And if his arms, he could replace his arms, but he didn't have like
But not like that.
He didn't go and change it.
Okay.
He was just some little guy who was like, "I am Modulac. Here, talk to my other head. I will leave now." And then he's like, "Now let me put my robot hand on." That's all that happened.
All right. So the easy animated version of that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he was like a small kind of like frog looking guy. It was the translation into toy, not so much. or
All
way
right.
cooler in toy, I guess. But
Yeah,
speaking
way
of
cooler in toy.
way cooler in concept, a thing that I did love when you look back on it, it's the stupidest fucking 80s action figure, but had such a badass commercial.
And hidden inside the masked slingshot, there's a mini jet.
Real actors.
Tracker here. Assemble mask. Security brake. Let's roll, team.
Let's roll.
Fine, boy. Invert vampire. Time flash. Not so fast, boy. Slingshot engaged.
Mask vehicles and Boulder Hill each sold separately with a figure. Mask, where illusion is the ultimate weapon. Mask, slingshot, and vampire each sold
Amazing.
separately. New from Kenner.
One of the
Is that
characters
not-
called vampires. Oh, cool.
Is that music not that ABBA song, Gloria?
Yeah.
Gloria,
Yeah.
Gloria. That's what it sounds like.
At the very beginning in the TV show, because there's words put over it in the TV show that is the theme song. Secret raiders, they will neutralize all the time. Something, I don't know. Neutralize something, I don't know. But
Okay.
at the beginning it goes my mask, and I had bought like the box set and was listening to it, and my girlfriend's always like, it just sounds like the beginning of Poker Face by Lady Gaga. So
Maybe she sampled it.
it is Lady Gaga and Gloria, but no, Poker Face and Gloria with a rock guitar, and you've got the Mask theme song, which essentially is just a mash of ideas anyway.
Yeah.
There was already Transformers, there was already G.I. Joe, so they're like, yeah, what if they're just the same thing? What if like the guys got
Yeah.
trucks that transform? Do they transform into robots? No, they just sort of transform into something. It's vague.
Money. Here you go. Take
Yeah.
all the money.
Yeah. There were tiny little figures, so I liked tiny accessories to stuff that I could lose. That always seemed to somehow my child brain loved that. I had
Loved
a slingshot,
losing toys.
but I never had a vampire. That would have been cool. I didn't even know. Maybe I didn't know his name was Vampire. So if I did,
Yeah, that
I'd be
makes him
like,
so much
give me
cooler.
that. But he was small. He was just a bike. He didn't have like a big truck and a little guy. So I don't know. Maybe that's why. Who knows?
Half human, half
All
animal.
right.
They never dwelled on that. Half human, half animal.
I'm Monroe, want the sword of Gundera.
With this secret power ring, battery not included, make Lionel's eyes light up.
With battery not included.
With Battlematic action, you can make them fight with their swords.
The sword is mine, Lionel. That's what you think, Mumra. Take that.
Thundercats, Hammer and Lionel with light up eyes. Each sold separately,
So
new from
cool.
LJN.
I love this motion that all of those toys used to do.
The very fact that they couldn't have a battery in the figure, so you had a ring with like one like AAA battery that you poked into its back.
Yeah.
What a time! But I was a big Thundercats fan. Loved the cartoon. I had the pillow and bedspread of that through public school days. But then it just sort of like disappeared amongst like, and people always remember. Well, I guess there was a remake of Thundercats more than once, but I just feel like it didn't stand the test of time of He-Man.
It did not, sadly.
Half human, half cat. I'm like, yeah, I guess. Isn't that? We guess that. Did you have to explain that?
It's new for your
Speaking of not past the test of time, like He-Man.
I do not remember these at all.
I'm a huge fan of these. Nobody else.
This is so lame. They're so lame.
He might meet the lava lock face to face.
So, Black Star was the prototype for He-Man. The guys who made the He-Man cartoon were making this first. And a lot of the cells and the music and the sound effects were all reused into He-Man. Really ahead of his time for being a Native American who wanted to find out where aliens come from. So he went into space, fell into the Buck Rogers thing. He fell into a black hole. And again, the like John whatever of Mars.
Oh, John Carter of Mars.
Yeah. But he was very American Aztec pride as well as being an astronaut. And then, he went to this world and he fought a villain, but it was called like the Overlord. It was the most generic villain name. The fact that you can make little sparks out of their chests. I have a Black Star, but I must have at some point in my life wanted to know what happened into his chest. So, he
So
broke
you
his
took
chest
him
out.
apart.
Yeah. So he was like, he had no chest anymore, no spark parts. So I think at some point I did an arts and crafts thing and glued him into a Ninja Turtle body.
Little open heart surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had the same thing as Skeletor and He-Man. They both had like swords where you could link them together, because that was never explained in the cartoon for He-Man, but the toys did that too. For some reason,
Yeah.
Skeletor and He-Man's swords became one. But I just love that the villain was just generically the Overlord. Like, he didn't have a name. He was just bad guy.
It's good enough. The kids don't care.
And each of them came with a vinyl figure buddy. Every villain had a demon, an unnamed demon, and every
Sure.
hero had like a Smurf. They had these like a village of Smurf people to live nearby that would fix all of Black Star's weapons and stuff.
Were they like the Smurfs, like those Smurf toys?
Yeah, but I think they were pink, and but like totally they were Smurfs with pointy ears. They were like supposed to be elf people that were in the cartoon. Yeah,
Sure.
but obviously it was the same. They were like the same size, same concept. It was obviously a rip off of the Smurfs. What's memorable about that? Yeah, it feels like if you took He-Man, but you step back a little bit, because he used a lot of rotoscope, and it felt sort of, and the villains and designs were a lot like the 70s Space Ghost. Also, how He-Man had a big green tiger, he had a big green dragon that he got to play around. So he was like,
so
one
it's like
step
the
up.
same thing.
No, yeah, it was completely the same thing. Like all the same voice actors, all the same stuff.
Yeah, of course.
It just didn't pick up because, again, the 1980 was even more closed-minded and was like, a Native American hero. Why do they keep bringing that up? And so, how about a blonde, blue-eyed guy for no reason who wears fuzzy pants? And they're like, yeah,
more Aryan. Make it more Aryan. That's what we want.
What we're trying to say, folks, is the 80s was racist. And I'll be bringing that back up, as I just realized that more than I thought. Go. Shockingly, most of those figures are from wrestlers that are still alive. Not so much with Boss Man.
Oh, well, he's not a boss in the end.
Everybody was crazy. One of my favorite Christmases was the one year my parents had money, so they wanted to show off, so they bought me everything from Ghostbusters that year. And when I looked up Ghostbusters the commercial, this is the best one I found. It doesn't even dwell on the Ghostbusters as much as it should. I mean, it does, but what's great about it is not the Ghostbusters.
According to legend, little folk know Hills is where the toys are.
Me afraid of ghosts.
Yeah, I love this thing.
I capture pesky ghosts with this ghost trap. For blasting them, the ectopopper and gargles. For a little help, I call these heroes.
Oh,
All
awesome.
from Kenner. Hills is my kind of place because
Hills is where the toys are.
no prices every day.
With that,
I spent a bunch of time trying to find one of those commercials because I knew that I had some of them. Oh, so good. That bless that character actor.
yeah,
He's phenomenal.
what a wonderful little, possibly cross-dressing Santa Claus. Wonderful. I don't know. So the next bit that I put up here, those are all things that I loved as a kid. I loved all those franchises, all that shit, because I was as commercial and sellout as possible. Action figures were the shit. There was a couple of things that weren't action figures that I wanted, and some I got. Rarely did I. You could get action figures weren't like collectible cool yet, so they were still affordable that you could buy a couple of them for kids.
Yeah, right.
Now they cost like $30 a pop, because it's really adults who are buying them anyway. But here's some things that were on my wish list as a young child.
Is the aircraft carrier going to be one of them?
The Knight Rider Power Cycle with Kit on a pretend instrument panel.
Oh, so cool.
You can pretend Kit is talking, leading you to the enemy.
See they're behind the fence? Let's get him, kid. He's gonna pass us. Yeah.
You can
Kit won't
pretend
answer.
that he's talking.
It didn't have sound. He didn't talk back.
I love that they put that in there like an upsell. The fact that they didn't want to put, like they didn't want to go to the effort of putting the Kit sound in. Just one that you press a button and it says something.
Yeah.
No effort.
Yeah,
you can pretend.
It's the Tommy Lee sort of weight loss commercial where he used to say, "Even you can do it," and they dubbed it over later to have him say, "Maybe even you could do it."
Oh no! The too many complaints.
Yeah, maybe I
can't lose weight on this.
Maybe you can. No promises. I also like that they invented a new theme song for Knight Rider because Knight Rider didn't have any words in the theme song. So they just said, now just have a guy shouting, Knight Rider, yeah!
That's all it needs.
Yeah.
That's cool. One more, kid. Go to Turbo. We got me. You're no match for Knight Rider.
Maybe it's Hasselhoff
right, kid?
singing.
The Knight Rider power cycle comes complete with spin-out lever. Your parents have to put it together. New from
Did you
Coleco.
actually ask for that for Christmas one year?
Oh yeah, I wanted it so bad, but I didn't have it in my local toy store. And it's funny in these commercials because those kids look like they're like 9 or 10 years old, and you're way too big for that. Like
Oh yeah, no, that's
by the
like
time
for
I
a
was 4, I was
5-year-old.
yeah. By the time I was 4 or 5, by 4, before I moved to England, I already knew how to ride a bike, which is hilarious that I always fail my driving to this day. But but I had one of those when I was like 3, because you could sit on the fucking ground basically. And when you're 3, again, in 1983, you don't or 4, whatever, you don't realize the kind of the concept of shows. I don't think people in the 80s did. Now here's what I got instead was from a different franchise that these days don't look at it quite the same. It's still cool in my books,
But
what
not
was
Knight
on
Rider cool.
it wasn't Knight Rider cool. And if you didn't, because it didn't say the name of the show on the big wheel, instead it just had a whole bunch of Confederate flags.
Right
Oh,
along
no.
a sunny day, you can pretend you're crossing town, but there's a roadblock in your way.
Can you make it, Bobby Joe? The Dukes of Hazzard power cycle will get me
Oh
through.
It's
boy.
got mag-type wheels with knobby tires, and you can make it spin out.
And so many
You
Confederate
got sure grip
flags.
handlebars, and you can make it spin out.
Each triangle in the wheel had a Confederate flag. You had an actual flag that was on the back of the seat that was separate, and then that sticker on the brake. What the fuck?
Not again. Oh, that Dukes of Hazzard power cycle.
The Dukes of Hazzard
Oh,
power
that
cycle.
Dukes of
The spin-out
Hazzard.
lever.
Did you get any
Assembly
girls?
required.
Any Southern belles?
No,
No.
I'm not sure if I'm disappointed or not. Coleco, I feel that's a weird thing. Wasn't Coleco like a handheld video game thing?
Yeah, ColecoVision. They
Vision.
had
Right.
they had a game system at that time.
Oh, it was a system. So yeah, they're just a game and toy company in general.
Yeah,
but-
yeah,
From Coleco.
And now, Super
yeah.
Planes.
Oh yeah.
Now, I had Mad Balls, but I always wanted the Super Mad Balls, especially the Goalkeeper Terror, the big teeth soccer ball.
Starring the craziest sports balls in the world, Super Mad Balls. In football, someone slips a Super
Yeah, I
Mad
remember
Ball
these.
into the game,
Oh,
and
so
into the
cool.
quarterback who breaks out and fumbles.
Makes me even me want to do sports.
In basketball, the Super Mad Ball really puts on some super moves. And in soccer, everyone gets a kick out of the Super Mad Ball. New Super Mad Balls, foul shot, goal leader, and touchdown terror from Amtoy.
It was just funny because I was a pretty anti-sports kid as well. I just never saw those in the toys. The only time I've ever seen those in person is nowadays at like toy conventions and the
Yeah,
swap
right.
meets and stuff and like collector's stores, which of course, they're $1 billion and all beat up too. Again, all the classic Mad Balls have all been remastered and reissued, but I don't think those ever have. So maybe one day I'll get a fancy brand new Goalkeeper Terror or whatever the hell
It'll
his
be
name
the
was.
best day of your life.
It will.
You'll sports that one time, then you'll put it away on a shelf and
I used to play some soccer
Yeah.
back in the day, but I felt like even when I wasn't a fat kid. I'm fat now, but I wasn't a fat kid. But I definitely was an easily winded kid. I was just like, oh my god, we've been playing for hours. We've been playing for 5
I
minutes.
need a Coke. Give me a Coke.
Or maybe we need a fruit cake Mountain Dew or fruit quake.
Are you doing it? You're gonna do it now?
We're gonna do it now. Yeah,
Should I do my
sure.
flaming hot?
Do the do. You
All
get
right.
yourself warm.
Okay.
I'll get myself fruity. It's got gingerbread men on it, and it's got a big monster truck that's got fruitcake wheels. That's the design
Oh,
of this.
it smells spicy.
Mm-hmm. Just tastes like ginger ale. Oh, weird. As I burped, I was like, "There's those chunks in a fruitcake." It is Mountain Dew and fruitcake. Just like someone melted a fruitcake into it. Weird. I don't
This-
quite like it.
This has no spice. It tastes
No.
like Mountain Dew.
Yeah, it just smells spicy.
Yeah, it smells spicy, but it's not spicy at all. All right,
No,
well,
it
there you
tastes
go.
Mountain Dew. Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
So fruitquake is flat Mountain Dew with every so often burps of fruitcake in it. I don't recommend it, but waste not, want not, children. So I will drink it at some point. I'll finish it before the day is done.
Welcome to my creepy play-doh party.
I had a cousin who had one of these,
It's
and I always wanted it.
Creepy Head and Friends playset.
Whoa, that's so cool.
Awesome!
Whoa.
Squish in the Play-Doh, pick a mask, twist it on, and... Ooh, now I'm a werewolf.
Whoa. That's
The
so
Play-Doh
cool.
Count Creepy Head and Friends playset comes with 4 masks and everything you see here.
I just like squirting things out of things. That sounds wrong, but in general, it's a chill thing to do. But the
Wow,
fact that
bump.
it came with masks that were like classic Monsters of Horrorland magazine type designs. They look like the Gogo Bardolas art, the way that there's a creature from the Black Lagoon, a werewolf,
Yeah.
and then a skull and a Dracula. Like, amazing. I think this was probably more of a 70s toy because the 70s just loved the Universal Monsters all over again for kids. Such a boom for that. Like all the Marvel comic books were just making versions of them. It was everywhere for a little while. But yeah, I knew the cousin of mine, I never knew it had a little cloak on it because the cousin of mine definitely didn't have that on it anymore. It was just like stick arms that you did that to.
Great.
Yeah. I mean, I always have a memory of having a Dr. Fate action figure and it had a shiny yellow cape, and my dog ate it, and then just the cape. And then one day it took a shit, and the cape was in perfect form, stuck onto the shit. So it was super shit.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. So I don't have too much more in here. Let's see what we got. Okay, I had a couple Transformers, but not many. In general, Transformers were really big, they were expensive. My parents broke. So.
I got Optimus Prime one year for Christmas.
Oh, that would be
Yeah, this exact one. I don't have it anymore, but I remember having it.
I just really wanted to show that. I wanted that commercial with that kid.
That kid?
With his glowing green eyes.
The Transformers sold separately from Hasbro.
And because the trailer released for Rise of the Beasts, the new Transformers movie, which I've been hating those movies for the last little while, but
They're all shit.
And this, I know this movie will be shit. There's no reason I don't. But just because they're like making them all look like the characters from the cartoons and that, and is doing that 90s Beast War characters, and they're all crossing over. It's this, the little kid in me through that trailer was like, like naming everyone
I want
see.
this. Yay.
And pointing at the screen. And
oh, it's that.
It's that one. Oh my god, it's that one. It's
you should have recorded a watch there or whatever.
Yeah, reaction video.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm so hip like that. But I think the reason I also use this Transformers trailer, I had one or two, but not many of them. Someone gave me an original Grimlock recently because he was like the badass of the badass. But
just like you, the badass of the badass.
The badass, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, whoever gave it to you was like, Adam, he's the baddest of the baddest that I know. So I'm gonna give him this Grimlock. Anyway, go ahead.
Totally suiting. But it was because when looking for trailers, I found this trailer for a toy that is a 90s thing. So it's probably why it didn't affect me as much. I was at that point probably actually doing drugs. So I didn't, this didn't come up my radar. But the very concept that this toy exists makes me laugh.
The alien invasion has begun, and it's up to the 5 of us to stop them. Animorphs, Transformers.
Oh, wow.
The Evil Visor 3 is leader of the Yerks.
He can morph from evil Anzelites
to Inferno Creature.
With grasping claws.
That's pretty cool.
And firing jaws. But we can change too, into any animal we touch. And when Heroic Axe changes into a scorpion,
they can turn into
Visor
one
3
animal.
is gonna get stung.
To save the human race, we pounce like animals.
You can make the change. Animorphs.
Each sold separately.
Was that Animorphs theme music in the background? That was
Well,
so
yeah,
like
okay, but
Sarah McLachlan.
It was so quiet. Like that was a really weirdly mixed commercial.
Yeah.
The voice was very forward and the music was just kind of like whispering in the background like this.
Hey, let's not make any rough. Yeah, let's say chill, guys. There's something
We're
very
turning
90s.
into vicious monsters.
Yeah, no, they just turn into birds, but to fight vicious monsters. Looking at the symbol though, there's such a 90s thing with how the logo for Animorphs is made because it's so could just be reboot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Reboot. I love how at that time we were like, computer graphics. This is it. We've done it.
Yeah, we've made it. Do you remember what was that movie that came out in like 2001? It was all CGI. It was a Final Fantasy movie, I think.
Oh,
like it's like a major theatrical released movie.
Yeah, they had the Final Fantasy movie that didn't have anything to do with Final Fantasy. That was like aliens in space, and they just called it that. And then later they released one straight to DVD that actually had something to do with it. Yeah. The big theater release one though, that was garbage.
It was a really bad movie, but some of the animation was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy that this isn't real.
Is a classic thing about major release films. You can get one great element, but you can never get two. If it's
for sure.
If it looks great, it's written like shit. If it's written well, it's gonna look shit. Like
for sure.
That's the way it is. But speaking of great graphics, there's only one moment in all of history, and yes, I do own a copy of this. Greatest graphics of all time. Just for Christmas, too. Released on Christmas week.
It is. I'll be right here. Aw. Get out of here. Oh, beautiful.
I thought maybe you heard Santa on the roof.
No, I have mine somewhere. I don't know what it is.
Only from Atari. Made especially for systems from Atari. The video game that lets you help E.T. get home. Just in time for Christmas.
Let's help E.T.
Happy holidays from Atari.
Help E.T. get out of pits.
And last year I got a VHS copy of the greatest Christmas special of all time. We won't play any of that. Pac-Man's Christmas special, where he helps Santa get Christmas taken care of by giving the reindeers drugs.
I mean, as you do.
As you do. So we're going to pass it on to you in a moment. I think I got one last thing to spin out here, but we'll make sure that we're done this before Santa comes so you can put out your cookies and milk, but there'll be a message in between here. But first,
I'm going to leave the last half of my Flaming Hot Mountain Dew.
Okay, Santa will love it.
I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus underneath the mistletoe. Oh, sorry, pal. Did you slip on my tinsel? Where was I? Mommy was kissing old Santa Claus, and I saw him drop his drawers. Santa and my mommy were really getting into it. And then I saw some cookies on a plate, so I snuck away. And then I told my dad the next day, oh, who am I kidding? I love the holidays so much, I love them. I love them.
Wait, what? Is he killing him? Oh no! Oh no! What? Why is that pumpkin killing that cat?
Happy holidays!
That's an original film about the holidays, all holidays in one, from Robert Hoffman, our good friend over in San Diego.
That was beautiful.
He's a madman.
Way to go, Robert.
He's a madman. And with that, here's a quick message about what you can do for Christmas with your spare time and spare change. And right after that, it'll be Morgan time.
Yay!
That's a holiday all on its own. The Morgan time holidays.
It's just me taking lots of shits.
Ho, ho, ho! El Santa Claus is coming to Eyesore Cinema Friday the 16th of December to find out who's been naughty or nice. Ho ho!
You got it? Butt Grinch? Are you a butt Grinch?
Yep, time to get out the Grinch mob.
Oh, no.
Grinch your butt.
All right, so I guess I'm taking over. I thought before I begin,
We're
I'd show you the
taking
only,
over.
the
Anyway,
only two action figures that I have out that I got as a child. So that's
Borg.
Locutus, of course.
Oh, he's the cutest Borg of them all.
Oh, isn't he just great? All right, and then I think this is Bucky O'Hare.
Yes,
right?
yes, it is. That's
Yeah.
an OG Bucky O'Hare. Hold on, just stay right there. Hold on.
You have an OG Bucky O'Hare?
No, I don't. He's like the one I'm missing. Hold on, just hold on.
I don't know what to do. I guess I'll just oh, you're back. Okay, good. It got awkward there.
I'm back. I'm back. Hold on. We'll fight. I'll make the Toad Wars. Fight him.
Oh no!
We'll get you, Bucky O'Hare. But don't worry. his sidekicks will come in to save
Oh wow,
him.
you have almost the whole set.
Yeah, I'm
You're
missing,
just missing
Bucky and like
Bucky.
two others. And there was like a purple alligator guy too who was pretty cool. But yeah. And their ship, the Righteous Indignation, is not the first time that I've mentioned that on our show. Cheers
there you
to
go.
that. Feliz Navidad.
Okay, so before we start, before I show anything, I feel like it is my responsibility to warn people about the dangers of the holiday season.
Oh, I thought you were going to warn us that it was going to get sleazy again. Like
no sleaze. It's Christmas. No sleaze.
Sure.
No
Okay,
sleaze.
good.
I want everybody to take heed and listen to this PSA when setting up your Christmas trees this holiday season.
Oh, love it.
Don't want any fires or damages or deaths or lost presents. Oh, I gotta share sound.
Last year on our Patreon, Austin and I just watched videos that was comparing different types of trees to which burned quicker. They had like fake living rooms set up and then set them on fire, and you had timers to see which one.
Oh,
would
that's
burn down faster.
perfect.
We just watched that and talked about other shit while that played in the background.
All right, here we
still
go.
available on Patreon.
So take heed, everyone.
Yes.
Oh, Louis here. Listen to me. You gotta
Oh, I almost brought this commercial. So good. Oh, it's probably because you posted it, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's how I
put it on my Instagram.
Right. Okay. I was like, yeah.
It's such a scary sight. Nothing goes in here but another pretty light. Yeah. Watch out, little buddy. Listen to me. You gotta play it safe around electricity.
It's true.
Play it safe around a tree. Watch out. Be careful what you do.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah, so there you go. So everybody, when setting up your Christmas trees, please don't overload your plugs. We don't want you to burn to death this holiday season.
Yeah. So don't overdo it, is what we're saying.
Yeah, don't overcook yourself in a fire.
I just like that looked like the bee from Honey Nut Cheerios, but as a cyborg.
It kind of does look like that. Yeah, you're right. Amazing.
Is that voice somebody? Like, I feel like there was, or was that the same guy that did like the after school specials of the like the Declaration of Independence when it was singing? Same kind of voice.
Oh yeah, totally. No, you know what? I bet you it's the same animation group or whatever. Because it also kind of looks like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Okay, so I have pulled a wonderful reel of Christmas related commercials.
What are you transferring in the background, by the way?
Oh, what's going right now?
Yeah.
This is tape 3000.
Oh yeah.
Of the WOC archive. That's right, folks. I've made it to 3000 tapes. This is an odd one because it was definitely recorded in 2018. So whoever I got these tapes from, I just found them on Kijiji, I think. It was some lady who left them all out in a bunch of boxes on her porch. So I didn't even meet her. I have no idea what she looks like.
Because it looks
all
like
the
Fast
tapes...
and Furious is playing in there.
Yeah. It's some car commercial. But yeah, anyway, this is all from 2018. Wow. So sadly, the 3000th tape is a lot newer than I literally or usually hope for, but you know, it's better than nothing.
There will be 3001. You forgot to take home that We Are What We Eat tape that I left for you.
No, I didn't.
Oh, was that number 2,999?
No. I didn't. That's not part of the regular collection.
Oh, I see.
So I've digitized that. I'll bring it back to the shop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it doesn't count as your mystery tapes are the ones you numbered. That's just
yes,
like,
exactly.
So that's even more.
Yes, it's only the home. It's only the home recordings. So of those, I have 3,000 tapes digitized. All right. So I pulled this from one of my early tapes. I think it's actually tape 6. And this is taped off of what's the Kitchener station? CFTO? Checks.
Maybe
it's Checks. I
yeah,
think.
because CFTO is closer here.
Yeah, it's Checks. Anyway, this is all Highway Market in Kitchener commercials for Christmas. Here we go.
My Yule log is tingling.
Oh, well, here you go.
This beautiful Christmas tree is clean, lasts for years, and assembles
clean.
in minutes. It's
Those dirty ones, those other people sell.
Yeah, we don't want. Well, remember, you got to get your Christmas tree before you can get your toys to put under it. So if you're looking for a Christmas tree, this is a beautiful option.
The worry of dry, flammable branches.
Oh, good. They said it was flame retardant.
Transform your Mountain King into a perfect Christmas tree year after year.
Still, don't overload your circuits.
The tree transforms into a car.
Light up Christmas morning with Highway Market and Coleco Electronic Arcade Games. Coleco Midway's Pac-Man, everyone's favorite arcade game, plays
Look at
3
that.
games and has 2 skill levels. Plays and sounds just like arcade Pac-Man. Galaxian plays
and sounds just like arcade.
Like, what does the second joystick do?
Fast Action Frogger and
I guess you can play with friends.
Highway. The arcade games you can take home with you. Coleco Arcade Games.
Oh, there you go. There's ColecoVision.
You'll
Yay!
find your favorite at Ontario's largest toy
It was
shop in
awful.
your Kitchener Highway Market.
Highway Market. I don't know if they still
Market
exist.
Our Lake Cindy will make magic Western style. Blaze the trails with
Any
Cindy's
Kitchener
Trailblazer.
folk out there?
The cheapest
Tell us
scale
now.
to fit Cindy directly into the driver's seat. Or take to the trails with Cindy on her very own horse. Western Cindy with her new Western horse are
It's
sold
the Sayers
separately or
now.
together. Then load Cindy's horse in its own trailer. The trailer fits 2 horses inside and hitches right onto Cindy's Jeep. Hit the
right onto
trails
Cindy's
this Christmas with new
Some of
Western
Cindy's
Cindy
figures
accessories
also
from
had
the
that.
Kitchener Highway Market.
I don't know why. They also had the
In case the horse got unruly, you had to karate chop it.
These are dynamic board games for the entire family. It's Superfection. Match and build the puzzling shapes in the pop-up tray before the time runs out.
Look at this family.
It's the new
They're loving
edition of
it.
the family favorite
It feels like,
Perfection.
just
little
the
ones will
background,
love
it feels like the
piggyback. It's made
families that
especially
would be
with them in
acting out
mind. Fill up your
when they
piggy
were
bank as
telling
you
you,
move
like,
around the
this
board.
wonderful
The richest
kitchenette
piggy
set
wins. These
on
popular leisure dynamic
Price
board
is Right.
games and more
Yeah,
are
right.
packed with
Yeah,
family
exactly.
fun for Christmas.
But I love
music
that, like,
Kitchener Highway Market.
Highway Market in Kitchener made all of these commercials with like they just got local actors and stuff. Like,
from Highway Market. Blast
In-
off for
I mean,
extraterrestrial
cable didn't come to
exploration with
Canada
many
till like,
adventure pack space models.
88, really.
Legoland
yeah, that's
Space
true.
Models
Then this is
expanded
probably
assortment of
like
space stations,
85.
interplanetary vehicles, and
Yeah,
some
so
new and
everything
advanced
was local
spacecraft,
commercials.
all with realistic
This was
Look at
played
this sweet
just,
Lego.
Legoland
just
Space
before
Series
Just
assists
Like
the child
Mom
to
would
expand
play
on
after
the
this.
creative ability in
Do
an
you have any
educational
memory of what
way.
that show
Out
was?
of this world
No.
Christmas magic from
Look
your
it up.
Kitchener
This
Highway
is the
Market
most
Okay.
80s,
Shop, one of
disgusting
the
Canadian
largest
thing
in this
ever.
galaxy.
The kids' game show called Just Like
Highway
Mom.
Market and Major Red. What a great team to capture Christmas magic.
Oh,
Your
I
kid is
remember
perfect for the
this.
Aspiring city planner in your
Yeah,
home.
yeah.
Lay out an entire city with streets and
Wait, are
buildings.
you looking up
then
Just Like
change it
Mom, or are
around
Yeah,
you
for
looking
I
a
remember
completely
Just Like
different
Mom.
look.
Oh,
The
yeah,
motorized
'cause it's sort of
Major
infamous
Red
for the
set
really,
is
like,
unique
touchy
because it
hose.
requires no batteries. Good old-fashioned
Whoa!
binders packed into each
I didn't
Oh,
have
look at
that
this
one.
Wind them up and
I
watch
had
them
one
take
like
the
this.
loops and
I love
curves with
these as a
incredible
kid.
Look at all those
speed and
loops.
accuracy. These Majorette toys and others at your Kitchener
Whoa!
Highway Market's toy
Mine was
shop
just fall
for
off.
Christmas magic.
Oh, but they didn't even get. We didn't get to see a whole loop.
I would try to link them down the stairs, and then it would annoy my family.
Of course.
Plastic cooking crystals, you can make your own stained
Here's the
glass
shit for
window
the girls.
designs,
The girls,
mobiles,
they want
holiday
cooking
designs, or
crystals, 'cause
jewelry.
they better get in the
Stained
kitchen.
glass sun cashews come in complete kits or separately, so you can create your own unique design. Just pop the filled frame into the
My
oven,
parents
and
would
your
get
sun
me stuff
cashew will
like
be
these
ready
too,
to
because they
hang in
thought
15
it's
to
art.
20
You
minutes.
like art.
Yeah, it's like stained glass windows. You get to make your own stained glass.
Because I love art and I love
Magic
churches.
At your Kitchener Highway Market's toy shop.
Highway Market's Christmas magic has never been this cute or cuddly. It's the Year of the Bear at Campus Craft. These soft, plush teddy bears are sure to please all ages.
How
They're
pudgy
available
they
in
are.
2 adorable sizes. But don't stop there. The teddy bears have an array
I
of
had
gift
those. I
ideas
remember
to help
that.
you
That's
have
such a
that
memory,
very
too.
Merry Christmas.
Weird little pins.
Placemats, and doodle
Stupid
kits.
bears.
Everything
My
is
mom had
included in
them.
the kit to
They were
help you bring the
felty
bears
and-
into living
I don't know,
color.
they were such a-
Celebrate the year of the bear this Christmas from Campus Craft and your
But I can
Kitchener
visualize
Highway
that
Market's
whole
toy shop.
presentation of them.
Highway Market has the eye-opener for Christmas morning for the
Highway
hockey fan in your
robbery
house,
is
no matter what age she is.
terrible
The NHL
football
star
table.
Look, Dad has to
playoff
sit
hockey game
down.
by Coleco, with legs built to last and loaded with all the most wanted features. 2 teams in official NHL uniforms.
I can
and
remember
smooth
playing with
gliding
these.
rods, an
I
overhead
didn't have
store
one. My
tower,
friends
and
did.
automatic
I wasn't
puck
into
dropper,
sports, so
and
I
there's
just played this
even a
shit at my
Stanley
friend's
Cup
house.
replica included.
Yeah.
Play your favorite Christmas tune.
Oh, yeah.
The Pianosaurus.
The Dino
Comes with its
Piano.
own numbered toy
Pianosaurus.
dongle. The magic of Christmas is yours.
I once
at
saw a
Kitchener's
punk band
Highway
called
Market Toy Shop.
Pianosaurus. I thought they were great. No one else did, but I thought they were great.
So there you go. There's a rousing collection of Highway Market and Kitchener
That's
local
that's a
Christmas
great
commercials.
I loved it. Just the aesthetic of it was so 1985. That was the time of like, if I hadn't moved out away from Canada at that point, if I was still here or if I was visiting my grandparents, it was when I would like find the consumer's catalog and be like, all right, I'm marking down everything out of the consumer's catalog or the Zeller's Christmas flyer or whatever.
I used to do it with the Sears, the Wish book or whatever. Was it Eaton's? No, it was the Eaton's that gave you the Wish book, right?
I think Sears was pretty famous for those too, but
Okay.
The Sears one I always remember because it had some of the cooler major name toys, but then only 2 pages later was women's lingerie. So
yeah,
it was a good book to keep around.
yeah, it was fun for the holidays and after.
When Americans talk about those for like the big Sears Wish book out of the States, the next set of pages would be, and like, this isn't a knock against Americans, it's a fact that in the 80s
guns.
you would get guns, and it would tell you like how to get all, not just your hunting rifles, but just like a page all about bullets.
Yeah, we got boobs, they got guns.
I mean, we still sold like that kind of stuff in our shops. It just wasn't as predominant. They didn't feel the need to advertise it in Sears.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a weird time. It's weird that I look back to it so much. But yes, what else you got me?
I got some more just regular old toy commercials, not necessarily Christmas related.
No.
There might be a couple in here.
Just things that would have been cool.
Yeah.
One Toys R Us kid to Full Strike by Hogan leg dropping it.
Dived into it.
Punch your dad out.
Oh, sweet.
With the Turtles, the Power Rangers, bad influence. It made you punch your dad. Yeah, Mario Brothers 2.
I love it's like a wrap. That hat is way too big for that kid.
Because he's Macho Man. It's his Macho Man hat.
Oh, here we go. Nothing like getting a truck for gasoline for a gasoline company.
The all-new Hess Toy Truck and Racer with Energizer
Yeah,
batteries,
go
$10.99 at
oil.
Hess stations. Happy holidays from Hess.
Happy holidays.
He's Jack, Nautica Lego Maniac. Seaport's busy.
Everything had to have a wrap in the 90s.
Yep.
Now begin. He keeps the cargo right on track. Nautica Lego Maniac. Here police put
I had that police station.
Coast Guard rescue saves the day. Jack.
So cool.
Nautica Lego Maniac.
The Lego Nautica collection.
If I got
Pure
Lego, I
police,
just put
launch
them
and
in
load
traps
Seaport
with you can
and
stand
Coastal
on.
Cutter.
So
Each
like
sold
my parents had
separately
to cut
from
me
Lego.
off.
Oh.
This could be the end. Are you talking
Oh,
about Slash?
I've got
the
him
twisted
somewhere.
mutant turtle from Dimension X? Latest
Look at
member
those
of the
little,
Foot Clan?
like,
Or Triceratops,
weapons that
Shredder's
you always
mutant
lost.
enforcer? No. Well, surely you don't mean
Well,
Mondo
no.
Gecko, the skateboarding good guy lizard, or Fugitoid, your whacked out robotic buddy with
Fugitoid.
the
You're
short
whacked out,
circuits.
robot.
So, what's the
Whacked out on the
problem?
stack.
Let the anchovies off my ice cream pizza.
Ugh.
Different song.
It's the new kids on the block. Joseph, Jonathan, Jordan, Donnie, and Danny. Who's
Joseph?
Yeah.
When would they call him Joseph? Joey?
Man, he wanted to be known as Joseph.
Joseph
wanted to
and
sound more
Mary.
like a man. No, he wanted to be the new man on the block, not the new kid.
The New Kids on the
I'm
Block.
thinking of Christmas
Who's the
too much.
#1 fan?
Thinking of Joseph and Mary.
New Kids
And
on the Block
Jesus,
concert
the
kits
action
come with cassettes,
figures.
stage, hang-loose gifts, and accessories sold separately.
If it was from the 90s, it was Nativity
This here's
Extreme.
The Cruncher, and these are Tough Tracks. Tough Tracks with all the roaring, fired-up, fuel-injected power of the big boys.
Yeah,
Like
look
Great
at all these
Boys,
sweet
King
crush
Crunch,
cars.
Carolina Cruiser, Equalizer. That's pulverizing power.
That's
I
pulverizing
like
power.
Tough Tracks. Keep on going, trailblazing, amazing monster machines.
I always wanted a Gravedigger figure.
Tough Tracks.
He was like
each sold separately. Batteries not
the only
included
one that
from
was
Galoob.
cool to me out of the Bigfoot.
Do you remember these?
Yeah, I always wanted them, and I knew like a couple of kids who had them, and I'm like, oh, these are crap.
Yeah, they're so fucking lame looking.
Yeah.
But also the fact that they were like teaching kids to spy on people, spy on adults in your neighborhood.
Why Spy Kids was such a hit in like 1999.
You've got him now. They have spy tech. They know spy tech. High-tech equipment that works.
Golden Girls connection. That old man always played Dorothy's dad in flashbacks on Golden
Yeah,
Girls.
he looked really familiar. I've definitely seen him in stuff.
Oh no, they know.
Oh, and what any kid wants under their Christmas tree.
Can we talk?
We look back on that, but that movie was stupid as shit. But I mean, you know, when I was
Still
when it
fun.
came out, I was
Every
in-
blockbuster video
When I was
has
into Vanilla
thousands
Ice
of
when it
great
came out,
movies,
so.
which means every blockbuster video has thousands of great
Look at all
gifts,
those
plus
video
great new
gifts.
releases like this.
Thousands and
Once
thousands
he
of
was
things.
programmed to destroy
Christmas, Terminator.
His mission is to protect it. Get down.
Get
Arnold
down.
Schwarzenegger. Terminator 2. Judgment Day. Rated R from Carolco Home Video. This time he's back for good. Blockbuster Video. Thousands of great gifts at great prices for everyone
pause
on
it
your
for a
list.
second.
Oh no.
It looped. But Terminator is making me think of one of the most amazing toys that came out in the 90s, which connects to that 70s Play-Doh thing. There was an amazing toy set for Terminator where you could put his body in and put the skin on him, then you could
Yeah,
tear
and
it
then
all
peel,
off,
yeah,
push it
tear
up,
it all. Yeah.
and then
I
mold him
remember
back
that.
in again. So cool. It was just so it looked like
I
the
love-
robot.
Like I love that there were so many kids' toys for R-rated movies back then. Like they would
Yeah.
never do that now.
It's also because R-rated movies don't really translate into that. Like, there's not an action figure guy.
Yeah, no, it's not.
in them.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
All right, I have a couple more commercials. They are not toy related. I'm sorry, but they are Christmas related.
Fair
And
enough.
if you grew up in Canada, you would have seen these ads at nauseum. And they are a Canadian institution, and I love them so much. And I think this guy has been doing this for, I don't know if they still exist, but he was definitely doing this for a long time. So here we go.
At Canadian Tire, you can save on gifts for those hard-to-buy-for people on your list.
Hey, not me, I don't have a list.
How about a set of handsome seat covers? These top-of-the-line full.
Do you remember these?
Oh yeah. When I played the Shoppers Drug Mart Christmas commercial at the beginning, I was debating between that and the Great Canadian
And,
Tire one.
yeah.
That's the Scrooge Canadian Tire.
But this Scrooge actor was like all the way into the 90s. These are 80s. This is from like 86, I think.
Yeah, I think the Santa would change at times, but the Scrooge was the same guy all through that.
Yeah. What a run.
It's gonna make gift giving a lot easier this Christmas.
I'm not interested. I don't give gifts.
Whatever these are, Canadian Tire's gift guides.
Whatever
just
these
loaded
are.
with great gift ideas. Appliances, sporting goods, home entertainment.
Still not interested.
There's even a special section
Still
for
not.
toys.
Couldn't care less.
That was also a time too that Canadian Tire sold toys as well.
Yeah, they sold tons of stuff. They were like a big institution here.
Give like Santa and save like Scrooge.
Ledgers. It's so difficult keeping track of all the money I've scrounged.
All
If
that
you know someone
money.
who could use a home computer, get to Canadian Tire. Buy the Commodore VIC-20.
Yeah,
on sale
the
for
VIC-20.
$159.99.
Oh my God,
Get
look at the
down set
tape
for
drive.
$29.99. And the Commodore 64 with monitor and desk is only $749.99. So if
Well,
you
with
think
monitor
you-
and
Oh, I
desk.
think I can predict a 12% increase in scrounging next year.
I've done episodes about the Big 20 tape games. Such amazing art and stupid games that existed for that. And because it immediately became unpopular, you could get them for like $1.
Oh, don't spend that much on me. You never know.
A Proctor Silex with brew selector is just $41.95 this week.
I'll give you a Proctor Silex, buddy.
Look at that, 65 bucks? That's a lot of money.
Someone might get that for me. You're a good boy. Out of that question. Canadian Tire lets you give like Santa and save like Scrooge.
So, Ebenezer, what are you giving Aunt Abby for Christmas?
What? So perhaps the afternoon off.
How about a nice CGE gift from Canadian Tire?
Yeah, there you go.
This CGE continuous clean toaster oven is
It was
just
continuous clean.
And this CGE light and easy self-cleaning iron is only $39.98.
Now, those would save for time, wouldn't they?
They sure would.
And I would
Don't trust anything that says self-cleaning.
There's no way.
Canadian Tire lets you give like Santa and save.
Unless your name is Self.
Looking for gift ideas for the little one?
Self cleaning.
Here's one, I'll tell little Freddie it's a start.
Canadian Tire has some better gift ideas.
Like this lovable Baby Alive doll for
Oh,
just $21.
Baby Alive!
And your complete Rider
Oh,
car set with
sweet.
car, truck, and ramp
Stunt
for only
car.
$17.77.
Also comes with Kung Fu attack.
Of course. The truck has a kung fu arm.
Oh, I know, the Baby Alive.
Oh, the Baby Alive. Yeah, that makes more
Canadian Tire
sense.
lets you give like Santa and save like Scrooge.
So there you go. There's some classic Canadian Christmas commercials.
The Hess gas station commercial that was like so pumped, like legit kids would want this. Like, you know, this isn't something that like some guy who works in like that collar of a business would want as a collector's thing. No. These are things that kids want. We're going to cover the whole tree with it. Reminds me of my uncle in the 80s and 90s. He always lived up north. He was a big, he just loved to be out there with his ski-doos, his snowmobiles. But he worked for John Deere. So he always bought John Deere stuff for people for Christmas. So the amount of like John Deere, like bulldozers and cranes that I had, which were, if you look back on it as an adult, there were these incredible metal models that were like really, really well made. But who the fuck cared? 12-year-old me didn't give a shit. And it was like, what the hell? So I think I got one of them, and I remember I painted it all psychedelic colors, and he was like, "How can you do that?"
Oh, not the John Deere green. It's an institution.
Yeah.
How dare you?
So it had like funky Partridge Family tractor now.
Okay, I got one last thing for you. It's my Christmas gift to you, Adam.
Ooh.
I saw you post about this the other day, and I thought I'd just give you a taste of it as we play ourselves out.
As I take a taste of this. Darkness.
It's a lot of darkness. Sorry.
Scrooge's Rock and Roll Christmas?
Maybe.
I thought I saw it on the screen there.
Oh no.
Did you back up iSource copy?
Yeah, this is that tape.
I haven't watched it yet, so I mean,
it's pretty good for
Mike
what it
Love
is.
of the Beach Boys and Three Dog Night.
No, I'll play you Three Dog Night song.
All revered.
And Dean Torrance.
Bridget, the midget.
As the girl.
Rex Smarger. I'll wreck your Smarger. That creepy ending to that song. Sega.
Humbug.
Oh,
Day's work wasted.
Oh, I'm wasted.
Oh.
I'm on fire.
Don't burn the place down, Jack.
Not meant to the script. That was just legit in the house.
Yeah, it's just wasted.
Christmas bah humbug. What do you want?
I need one last minute present for someone really groovy. Maybe something from the Beach Boys. Isn't this the record store?
Record store. What's a record
These comedic
store?
shows where they're like, it doesn't matter what time period it is.
Rock and roll. You know,
It's
all Revere and the
1979.
Raiders,
It's
the Beach
1779.
Boys, Three
whatever.
Dog Night.
3 Dog what?
You never heard of Three Dog Night?
I don't like
Oh,
dogs.
I
don't
didn't
like
realize who he
music, and I
was.
don't
He's
like
the
being
doctor from
interrupted.
Cannonball Run.
Yeah,
People
Yeah.
yeah, it's Jack Elam. He's like he's
Now,
he's
is
in
that the
so many
Christmas
things.
spirit?
Yeah.
He's got that one bum
That's
eye.
no good
Looks
luck,
all weird.
Cratchit. Can you
He always
imagine?
looked like he had a
wanted
big
the
stroke
day off
or
to
something.
celebrate Christmas.
Yeah.
I'll be here working. I'll document days.
He's pop-eyed.
Story?
It's time for your needle.
Here Saturday. What happened to all the
Oh,
records?
it doesn't go there, my dear.
Why, this isn't the place at all.
Well, since this isn't the place, maybe you'll just.
Yeah, you
get
got a
out
good.
here
It's a
and
good Jack
walk.
Elam impression.
No one should be grumpy
That's just
at
also
Christmas
slightly my
time.
Macho Man.
I'm not leaving
Same thing.
until I cheer you up.
The amount of
need
films
no
that I've
cheering up.
appeared in
Just
where someone
get outta
said,
here and leave
"Oh,
me
you'd be a
alone."
really good drunk or a
Until
hobo."
you're so happy.
I'm like, all right,
You
don't
wish
talk like
everyone
this.
a
It's a
Merry
pirate
Christmas.
version of Macho Man. Hey, where's the
This
whiskey?
ought to brighten your
You'd
spirit.
be a good drunk
I was going to
hobo.
give
Can
it
I
to my
bum a dollar?
grandmother, but you needed a lot more than she does.
If you look at my IMDb, I've been 3 bums.
Magic.
I don't believe in no magic.
And a partridge in a paper tree.
Well, just use your imagination.
I don't believe.
I know, you don't believe in imagination either. Well, just listen
Jeez.
to this.
Who's she, though? She's somebody, too, though.
She's Bridget.
Yep, well, that's just her name? Was she a pop singer called Bridget?
I guess.
Oh, okay. I thought she was like an actress and that Bridget would appear later. I actually thought it would be Bridget the Midget.
It's probably cold as fuck.
Or it's fake snow.
Oh yeah, it's definitely fixed now. Look, it's like on his chin,
Yeah.
just a little bit.
Oh, pumpkin pie, right? We'll have some fucking pie.
The lip sync is really bad.
I'll take your halls, buddy.
Oh, this looks like a fun party.
Quality mustache. That makes it a good rock and roll
That
party.
guy's got a quality mustache, you're right.
Easily. I think this song is repetitive, folks.
It is a little repetitive, that's true. There you go.
Just noticed the most recent issue of Superman and Batman
told you, it's
for the
magic.
December issue. They have a Christmas party and get Paul McCartney to sing at their Christmas party.
Oh,
So
that's fun.
it's just on the cover of Superman and Batman issue, whatever, the December issue. For their Christmas party, it says guest starring Paul McCartney. Like, you know, he could physically be in your comic book.
Wow.
I wonder if he had to sign off on that.
I'm sure. They must have.
It's not like it's using anything of him. It's not like you hear it. But yeah, I'd
His
imagine.
likeness?
Yeah, I guess. And he's the kind of guy who, if he didn't like it, would sue you about it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't take any shit.
He'd come at you with a Rickenbacker bass and beat you to death. That's Paul McCartney's finishing move in Mortal Kombat. Is he beats you to death with a Rickenbacker bass.
Beatles combat.
Yeah, there you go. Beatles combat.
He comes at you with a British invasion. Well, regardless to that, I'm almost curious to get the comic book to find out what Christmas song he sings. But part of me also doesn't care.
And nor should you.
Come on down to Eyesore Cinema. We'll be having a wacky time. Then Friday, we'll be doing the toy drive. There'll be a movie playing. We'll be doing some other wacky stuff. One of the greatest gifts to ever get at Christmas was a board game Nightmare. So we're going to make it into a giant floor-sized board game and play it on the big screen.
Oh,
so we can have the Nightmare Before Christmas event. Because all my ideas come from puns. Bring a toy, drop it in the box. At the end of the night, I'll drop it off at the fire station so kids can get some more toys from us. And yeah, that's the wonderful wackiness that we're doing. Also, be back on this thing called the internet on Thursday. I believe it's Thursday at the WOC archive page. And this guy over here, he'll be playing some classic specials for you. More classic than Scrooge's Rock and Roll Christmas.
Somewhat more classic.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit more relevant.
I think Jack Elam plays Santa Claus in the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, so you get a little Jack Elam.
It all connects. I can't imagine him being other than those type of characters.
I'm pretty sure that's who he plays.
You'll get to rock around your own Christmas tree with us back on here. I'll be there for a cameo, but at this point, it's really just Morgan giving you the goods. He's giving you the good feels, all the goods. And maybe some of the bads with Garfield, but
the Garfield one's pretty good. Come on.
Oh, shut your terrible mouth. I'm just mad that there's no Heathcliff Christmas special. I'm sure there is, but just
you would be a Heathcliff lover. Terrible. All right, well, see you all on Thursday, and thanks
Merry Christmas. And remember, Heathcliff was punk as fuck.
That's the most Christmas thing to end on I could think of. Merry Christmas. Heathcliff was punk as fuck.
Punk as fuck. And may someone jingle your bells for you.
Oh.
See you on Thursday.
See you later.
Who's been naughty or nice? Ho ho!